I'm Josh Scogin with the Chariot.
Do you think your recent album on there was just as successful as your other albums?
Sure, I guess. I don't really know, like, if more people got it or less people got it or anything, but I mean, I guess it's like how you define success, you know? For us, it's, you know, as artists of that project, we all love it a lot, so if that's the definition of success, we love it, you know what I mean? We it's our favorite record that we put out. We loved all the records, but, you know, that one is, we opened a lot of doors that we were able to kind of walk through with that album, artistically speaking. And so for us, it's you know, that is a success to us. You know, as far as like who's buying what and how many kids are coming to shows, that sort of stuff, like that rules obviously. But you know, we don't really have control over that. We just have control over the art itself. So I'd say yes, it's more successful than the others.
How would you describe the type of genre the Chariot is to you? Because people, you know, describe Chariot different ways, but
I don't know. It's just an art project for us, you know what I mean? Like we for us, you know, it's I think one of my favorite descriptions is just like punk rock, because for us that represents sort of just like freedom, you know, to be able to do whatever you want. But I mean, we don't really call it anything. We just, you know, write music and stuff. But I've heard a lot of definitions of what it is, and you know, as any artist would, as soon as you get sort of boundaries, you want to break those. So as soon as someone calls it something, you want to do something different. You know, it's just kind of the way it goes. So, but I don't know. We've never had to call it anything ourselves. But we just, you know, we don't ever want like restrictions on like, oh, they're, you know, hardcore, so therefore they do this, and not this, and it's like, well, we just do whatever we want to do, and if that ends up, yeah,
these different genres.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't care. I mean, you can call it what you want. If you like it, then that's cool to me. If you like it, then that rules. You can call it whatever. Some of those definitions I don't agree with, and some of them I don't really care. But
I heard mathcore, crapcore.
Yeah, crapcore is another world, I think. But mathcore, I think, is like, I think people give us that sometimes because it's always changing so fast. But when I think of mathcore, I think of really smart people mathematically putting together songs that, you know, shouldn't go together, and we're not really that smart with it. We just kind of like get bored really quick. It's like ADD core, because we just get bored, and so we just switch something. Like I don't know what like time signatures are and things like that, and a lot of us in the band don't. We just write stuff that we want to hear, and a lot of times then we get bored of that, so we change it, and so we may have like a 2-minute song, and it may change a lot throughout those 2 minutes, but it's not mathematically like predestined to go that way. It's just kind of like as we play it over and over, we want to change something, so we change it, you know, and by the time it gets recorded, that's where it is, you know. So I think it's just a lot of boredom, and that helps sort of push that along, and like ADD, and just kind of those sort of just want to keep energy and keep it like alive is where our genre comes from.
What do you feel has changed in the music scene lately and the music industry?
I don't know. It's always changing. You know, you got the whole people getting music for free, so all like the old dinosaurs in the like record industry, the labels and stuff, they're all kind of panicking, and like they don't know if they like what they should do, and you know, but at the end of the day, like if you I mean, selling CDs like really helps us keep going and helps us, you know, able to stay a band and that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, you know, we just want to play shows, and so we're able to keep doing that based on you know, people coming out to shows. So as long as people keep coming out to shows, then, you know, we're good. As far as everything else, the business side of the punk rock scene, where it's like, you know, labels going under and kids aren't buying records anymore, they're downloading them, and that whole bit, it's just like, well, something new will come, something different will come. You know, you just gotta kind of, it's only like the old dinosaurs that are kind of being phased by it, you know, as far as, I mean, we're all being phased by it, but they're the ones that are really kind of, you know, you gotta always sort of kind of evolve with it as it grows and as it changes, you know, and it's always been doing that, you know, whether it's the introduction of the internet or the introduction of this genre or the introduction of like whatever, you know what I mean, YouTube, the whole bit, you know, like it's always changing and always being, you know, but you just gotta kind of adapt with it. And as long as your first love is playing shows, you know, as of right now, that's not changed. You know, people come to see shows, so that rules for us.
What would you, where's the best place in your opinion to tour through?
What city?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big fan of the Southeast because I'm from the Southeast, but our best shows are usually like Dallas, Texas. They're just way too nice to us there, and you know, you have the Southern hospitality, and you still have just like people still go to shows, and they really just, you almost get that mentality of like they just go to shows just to go. Like maybe they don't love it, maybe you're not their favorite band of all time, but it's a band that you like and you're okay with, you know. So it's really cool to be able to see that, you know, and because I know I do that, you know what I mean. I go to less shows now than I used to because I play a lot, but I still go to shows just, oh, I've heard of this band, I'll go check them out, or you know, if I'm kind of into a band and I'm not doing anything, I'll like go, you know. It doesn't have to be like, you know, this is my favorite all-time band, I'm gonna go see it, you know. And I feel like Dallas, Texas still has that vibe of just like, yeah, we'll just go, it's something to do, you know, and it'll be fun. And then Atlanta, we're from Atlanta, so obviously we got the Atlanta love there, and I mean, there's tons of cities that can go naming, you know, those are some of our like population-wise, those are some of our biggest shows, I guess, you know, and those are always fun to play, as well as lots of littler shows, you know, are fun too. So.
What was the farewell tour like trying with
with the Haste Today dudes? It was cool. It was it's kind of bittersweet, you know. I've known those dudes for a long time, so it's cool to be able to tour with them. But you know, they definitely were wrapping up to an end, you know, and that's always kind of a you know, kind of a hard thing to do, just to be like, oh, here's the end of an era, you know. So but yeah, they all had a good, you know, level head on their shoulders, and you know, that some of them knew more of what they were doing next than others. But I think ultimately they all felt like, you know, it was a good time to wrap it up. And I always have always like it when a band is able to call the shots, when the band is actually like, this is going to be our final tour. Because there's so many bands that either get in fights or just they don't do well anymore, whatever the case may be, and they have to end. Like there's no big farewell, or you know, a farewell tour or a farewell show. There's none of that, and that's always such a bummer, especially when you know the artist or when you know the band involved. You know, it's like, it's nice when you're able to go, hey, we've had a good run, we've enjoyed ourselves, and now we're gonna we're gonna quit. For whatever the reasons are, whether they're quitting to do something else, or they're quitting because they feel like that time is up. It's always nice to at least know, you know, that they've had that, they called the shots and they said, now we're gonna wrap it up. You know, there's an older band, Beloved. I know that they were like kind of right at their peak, and they were just like, this rules, and now let's wrap it up. You know, and it's really it's great to see that when it's able, because there's so many bands that just fade away, and you know, they never have that opportunity to like say like, okay, now we're going to wrap it up. And I think as a fan of music and as a fan of a lot of bands, you almost feel like, you don't get that final conclusion, that final thing, if you don't get that sort of wrapped up feeling, you know what I mean? Like, and so that's always, it's always nice to see a band and go out like when they want to go out, and so that was cool. to be on a tour that they were doing that, you know, and every show they got to play it like it was their last, because it was their last, you know what I mean, and it's a great thing to be able to do.